transmitters to your radio. Nothing but net. Out of the transmitters, through the air, into your radio. Out of the transmitters, through the air, into your radio. Nothing but net.
Japoma Radio, Moya songs.
What's ye Japoma Radio, Adeshema? What's ye Japoma Radio, Adeshema?
Out of the transmitters, through the air, into your radio. Nothing but net.
Welcome to the Midday News Live on Japoma Radio GH. Follow us on Insta, Facebook, and on Twitter, Japoma Radio GH, Instagram, japoma.radio.gh, YouTube, King of Kings Media. Download the app on your Google Play Store on your phone. Headlines: Deputy Speaker should not be MPs. Prof. Jampo, advocate. NPP condemns violence in polling station election. Parliament must resist Supreme Court on constitutional flawed ruling. Sami Jenfi. Akpele Festival celebrates Ghana in grand style. There's many more coming up on your way. I am Josephine Nante. Details shortly. Welcome back. The news in details. Senior political science lecturer at the University of Ghana, Professor Ransford Jampo, has advocated for Deputy Speaker not to be elected from among members of Parliament. According to him, this will prevent a situation where the Deputy Speaker, when presiding, participates in a vote on the floor of the House. Posing a rhetorical question on Facebook post, Prof. Jampo asked, what happens to debate if those accepted to moderate it take it to one side via partisan voting? He added that opponents of the Supreme Court ruling which grants voting right to Deputy Speaker should seek a review of the matter to put finality to it. The ruling may elect those seeking for the numbers to pass the e-levy, but it will also help those opposed to it if they win power and hang Parliament comes back again tomorrow. Mr. Joseph Osei Owusu, the first Deputy Speaker, Thursday says the Supreme Court ruling of March 9th has not taken away Parliament's power to regulate its own proceedings. The first Deputy Speaker, who was presiding over the House, reiterated that Parliament still had the power to regulate its own proceedings. He gave the explanation when Mr. Richard Echampon, Member of Parliament MP for Bia East, said the Supreme Court ruling of March 9 had taken away the power of Parliament to regulate itself, saying, so we are not longer masters of our own rules. He noted that Order 1093 of their standing orders have been struck out by the Supreme Court. Hence, the standing order of the House was now defective because its standing order 1093 was part of the ethic standing orders of the House. The new Patriotic Party (NPP) has announced the date for the next phase of the party's intended elections. The date for picking nomination forms for the district coordinating election is Monday 14th March to Tuesday 15th March 2022. Nomination forms for the election have been uploaded on the party's website for easy access. Addressing the media at a news conference in Accra, the General Secretary of the NPP, Mr. John Boadu, said the party had observed with concern and revolution some verbal attacks and physical conflagration that characterized the polling station executive election in some constituencies a few weeks ago. Mr. John Boadu indicated that the party might order a rerun of the said election in the affected constituency. Also, Communications Officer for the National Democratic Congress (NDC), Sammy Gyamfi, has urged Parliament to resist the latest Supreme Court ruling in a matter involving whether or not a Deputy Speaker can vote whilst presiding. According to him, the consequences ruling by the Apex Court on the matter was disappointing. Speaking on a show on March 10th, Sammy Gyamfi said the verdict was unconstitutional. He mentioned that Parliament must thus resist the unholy intrusion upon its independence as an army of government. The decision by the Supreme Court on issues of whether or not a Deputy Speaker of Parliament while presiding can be conducted out part of a quorum and can vote is very disappointing, but not surprising to some of us, because some of us expected it to go the way it has gone. We take a break. When we come back, it's the local news. Welcome back from the break. Now on to some local news. Even though mining has created employment and opened up the economy in the Talensi district of the Upper East region, it has brought about some corrupt moral practice which have become a worry to authorities in the area. Thomas Person Wuni has noted a worrying trend that he believes must end because its long-term effect on people involving may be disastrous. He says because most young men, mostly teenagers, have had access to money, it's now become a fashion to marry as many as 3 wives. His worrying emanates from the fact that teenagers boys are the ones engaged in polygamous marriage, which will go a long way to affect their development and the lives of especially children that comes out of these marriages. Thomas Person Wunis used the opportunity to advise parents of young girls in the district to desist from giving out their children to young men to become their second and third wives just because of some petties they receive from them. The second edition of the local food party, Akple Festival, took reveals back into them with amazing good tunes from the Adeha Dance Band. After missing out on the 2021 edition due to COVID-19, Brand with Erich, organizer of the food festival, staged a massive comeback and attained at Mofre's Place. Could not have asked for a better time to experience Ghana's rich culture than on Sunday, March 6th. The open-air event started when patrons trooped in to buy their favorite local dishes. The team lead for Akple Festival, Mr. Ebenezer Echiri Mensah, said Ghana has rich tradition and we can't afford to hide them in the tunnel. Our job is to sell Ghana, especially to the outside community, and we are committed to this cause. A pastor has been granted a 50,000 bill with 2 shorties, all to be justified by the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly KMA Circuit Court for defrauding by false pretense. Patrick Ejay, who was charged with 3 offenses, pleaded not guilty to the charge. He will reappear before the court, presided by Mr. Abdul Razak Musa on March 22nd. Police Chief Inspector Bismarck Deborah told the court that the complainant with a driver, a resident at Abrepo Bronikom in the Kumasi metropolis, and unemployed man resident at New Swami in the Swami municipality. The accused is a pastor and a resident of Abrepo in Kumasi, whilst his accomplice, Ernest Owusu Enchi, is a businessman and a resident of Ejay in the Oforikro municipality of the Ashanti region. The prosecution told the court that about 3 years ago, the first complainant attended a church service at the Ejay's church. During a counseling session, the first complainant declared his intention to travel abroad, and Ejay assured him of his ability to assist him through a friend to travel to Canada. Ejay led the first complainant to his accomplice and introduced him as the first friend he told him about. Chief Inspector Deborah said the two assured the first complainant of their ability to secure him a Canadian visa and other related traveling documents at a fee of 36,000 Ghana cedis from the first complainant. Prosecution told the court that within the same period, the two accused persons succeeded in obtaining 40,000 Ghana cedis from the second complainant under the pretense of securing him a Canadian visa and other traveling documents. The two admitted to the offense during the police investigation and were accordingly charged. So on the local news, about 60 new Patriotic Party members from the Kwadaso constituency have packed at their party's headquarters in Accra to petition their national leader over issues they had with recent polling station executive election. The protest alleged that the chairperson for the constituency polling station election, Gifty Ohene Kunedu, breached the party's constitution in the conduct of the polling station executive election in the area. Members of the group say they had petitioned the party's regional office and were in Accra to petition their national leaders. Speaking to the media, the leader of the aggrieved Kwadaso NPP members, Abu Muhammad, called on the leadership of the party to nullify the said election after the allegation conduct of Ms. Kunedu. We take a break. Please stay tuned. Welcome back from that short break. Now on to some business news. On the interbank forex rate from the Bank of Ghana today, March 11, 2022, the Ghana cedi is trading against the dollar at a buying price of 7.0165 and a selling price of 7.0235, as compared to yesterday's trading of a buying price of 6.9974 and a selling price of 7.0044 at a forex bureau in Accra. The dollar is being bought at a rate of 7.60 and sold at a rate of 7.75. Against the pound sterling, the cedi is trading at a buying price of 9.2162 and a selling price of 9.2268, as compared to yesterday's standing of a buying price of 9.3169 and a selling price of 9.3269. At a forex bureau in Accra, the pound sterling is being bought at a rate of 9.83 and sold at a rate of 10.00. Now on to some international news. Vladimir Putin would be making a grave mistake if he used chemical weapon in his assault on Ukraine, British Foreign Secretary Liz Truss said on Thursday. Western governments fear the Russian leader may resort to the use of the banned weapon as he fails to make the progress expected in conquering his neighbor. Truss' comment came as the UK stepped up its sanction on oligarchs, demand to be close to the Putin regime, including Chelsea owner Roman Abramovich. The UK and US fear Russia could go further and carry out a chemical attack, potentially under the cover of a false flag operation. Asked if the use of such weapon would be a red line for the UK and how it would respond in the situation, the Foreign Secretary told CNN, "We are very concerned about the potential use of chemical weapons." We take a break. Please stay tuned. Welcome back from that short break. Now on to some entertainment news. Afrobeat artist Kwame Eugene has made an appearance on the popular BBC One Extra show when he was hosted by British DJ and TV personality Tim Westwood. In the more than 7-minute video shared on the official YouTube handle of the popular DJ, Kwame Eugene is seen freestyling on beats being played. He mixed his flow with a bit of the local language Chi, but largely raps in English. Fans have been full of praise for Kwame Eugene and big concert featuring fellow artist Kiddy. On March 6th, the duo performed their hit songs in London with over 2,800 people in attendance. The artists spread their wings as far as their music career and concerned to perform their hit song and connect with fans outside of Ghana. And that will be the end of the afternoon news. But before we go, let's take a recap of our top stories. Deputy Speaker should not be MPs. Prof. Jampo advocate. NPP condemns violence in polling station election. Parliament must resist Supreme Court on constitutional flawed ruling. Sami Jenfi. Akple Festival celebrates Ghana in grand style. Follow us on Facebook and then on Twitter, Japoma Radio GH, Instagram japoma.radio